University, Lucknow. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to our Summer School Program 2025. We are delighted to have such enthusiastic students, graduates, and young professionals across the country joining this vibrant and insightful learning journey. Over the next few days, we promise engaging sessions, valuable knowledge, and skills that will give your career a boost. To begin with, let me introduce the visionary behind the Costlev's Karerika, Dr. Pratima Tripathi, who is the founder and CEO at Costlev's Karerika. Dr. Pratima completed her PhD in biochemistry from University of Lucknow and has worked with some of the India's finest institutions, including Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Anantapur, Andhra Pradesh, Integral University, Lucknow, and Naipur, Lucknow. She has also served as a postdoctoral fellow at Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia Institute of Medical Sciences, Lucknow, and has a long-standing dedication to education, research, and student empowerment. Her leadership has made Karerika a trusted platform for career development nationwide. I warmly welcome Dr. Pratima Tripathi, who will now take us through the mission, vision, and inspiring story behind Karerika. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Yash, for this wonderful introduction. Before I start, I would like to introduce all of you to Kaustubh's Karerika. It is a dream venture. In my 15 years long career as a researcher, as a teacher, and as an administrator, I found that students feel lost after taking admission in their degrees and courses. So this inspired me a lot to open to get into the entrepreneurship, or you can say get into the guidance sector, and guide the students, hold their hand and guide them from their degree to a well settled career. At Careerica, we believe in empowering individuals to craft their future with confidence. Whether you are a student navigating academic choices or a working professional looking to upskill, Careerica offers you personalized guidance and well designed programs that align with your dreams and goals. We aim to bridge the gap between potential and opportunity. Our platform is built to guide, mentor, and support you in every step of your career journey, right from counseling to certification to placements. The ultimate mission to help you make informed decisions and strategically plan your career path. What makes Careerica unique is its wide range of career enriching services, which include personalized career counseling, exam preparation guidance for NEET, JEE, CSN, and GATE, GPAT, and many more. Or online certification courses, where right now the skill development programs are going on. Short-term training programs and skill-based workshops, expert mentorship guidance and live sessions, access to top-notch career resources, mock interviews, and resume help. All these services are designed keeping in mind today's dynamic job market and the specific need of our learners. So we provide all these services to the students, guiding them right from when they take admission or before they take admission in any degree course. They need a proper guidance, what should be done, what they should do, and we try to make their career as delicious as any food or any particular delicacy that they enjoy. We want to make their career choices as soothing to them, as and as delicate to them, the way they want to live it. We actually focus on making the student live the career journey. Not only it should not feel to them like that the career journey is imposed on them. They should be living with that particular journey, and they should enjoying it. So this is our main goal with this particular short introduction of Careerica. And already I have been introduced by Yash. Over to you, Yash, for the introduction of our co-host and co-organizers, convener, and the speaker of today's event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that insightful overview of Karerika and your inspiring words. Now, to walk us through the details of our exciting summer school program, I would like to invite Dr. Tabrez Jafar, Associate Professor and Head Department of Biotechnology at Ara University, Lucknow. Dr. Tabrez, who is the co-organizer and has been a strong pillar of support in organizing this event and his academic leadership, has played a key role in bringing this program to the life. Over to you, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir,
am
you
I
are.
audible?
You
Yes, sir,
audible,
you
sir.
are
You
audible.
audible.
Okay, okay. Over to you, Yash.
Uh, Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Right now you're audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay.
Please
So
continue.
once again, a very good morning to all of you.
Yes, I think Dr. Tabrez sir have some technical issue. He is starting, he is speaking also. As we can see, he is unmuted and is speaking, but the voice is not coming to us.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
I guess there's some issue in the mic, sir.
so we will wait for him to complete because we cannot disturb him in between, and then we will start introducing today's speaker, Dr. Shivakiran sir, because we are here to. Sir, hello.
Hello.
Sir, we were unable to hear you, but anyhow, I will ask Yash to. Already, you have been introduced. We will continue with the event. Is it okay, sir? Hello. Yash, let's continue with the event.
Okay. We are truly looking forward to an engaging and enriching week ahead. Next, we have with us Dr. Manal Zehra, our convener and assistant professor, Department of Biotechnology at Era University, Lucknow. Her planning, coordination, and efforts behind the scenes have ensured this event is perfectly structured for an impactful learning experience. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your dedication and contribution. And now it's my honor to introduce our first keynote speaker for the day, Dr. Shivakiran S. Dr. Shivakiran is an accomplished leader and innovator with over 14 years of experience across research, policy, innovation, startups, and entrepreneurship. Just a quick glimpse of his incredible journey. He is the co-chair of Startup 20 under the G20 framework during India's presidency. Also, the CEO of Atal Incubation Center at Sri Krishnadevaraya University, where he inspired over 1 lakh students. He has also developed 8 technologies, hold 5 patents, and has represented India at G20 Brazil. His work spans health tech, rural innovation, biotechnology, agriculture, and the circular economy. Currently, he serves as the Chief Academics and Innovation Officer at HCG Enterprises, Bangalore. We are honored to have him here today to ignite our minds and with his vision. Over to you, sir.
Uh, Dr. Shivakiran sir, welcome to the event, and we are really eager to hear from you the minutes and the details of the industry. And I hope my students, all those who have joined today, will enjoy your session. Over to you, sir.
Okay.
Welcome to the event.
So thank you very much, Dr. Pratima and Yash. And I'm really happy to share some of the insights of the industry. But before doing that, I would like to know from the audience if they have any specific that they're allowed to speak, or minimum is they can at least put these questions on the chat box about what is that they're expecting from me. I guess Yash has introduced me to you, or maybe you have already known about me earlier, so you may be having specific questions to ask. That will help me to structure my talk with you. Okay, so let's do that. I request audience, I guess that most of your students, can you put up your questions and or your expectations from me? Or you can raise the hand and ask question.
Dear students, we are going to keep all these sessions very interactive. So please don't mind to interact, ask from the experts, because this particular summer school is organized in collaboration for your benefit. So please extract as much knowledge as you want, and don't be hesitant to ask questions. Please proceed. It will guide all the experts to give you the best of the guidance that they can. Thank you.
While they're framing their questions in their mind, I actually what I did was I come with the two thought process. One from the students' point of view, how they perceive the industry and how they need to navigate through the industry. Second is what industry expects from the students coming from the education institutions. Both point of view, because I have been an employer, and I also have gone through the journey of from student to employee and such stuff, right? So let me share my journey, how it happened. See, after finishing, I have not taken any specialized subject in my masters. It is just BSc and MSc, integrated BSc and MSc. It is called MSc Life Sciences. There is no such subject like biotechnology, microbiology, genetics, and such stuff. People have a presumption that if I do not opt for some specializations, I may be losing the game, or I may not fit into the ecosystem. There is no such thing like that. Anybody with the even general, we are not expecting any students from the universities to have very deep understanding of the industry, because without having exposure to the industry, expecting you to know industry knowledge is absolute nonsense, right? And so academic institutions will teach you sciences, will teach you the philosophy of how things work and such stuff. So having an understanding of the basic sciences is good enough. And I'm from biotech biosciences background. Our strength lies in understanding the life in its whole integrity. uh, so life sciences was never a bad choice for me. And during my MSc, I have attended this UGC net uh, examination and got qualified, and I got my fellowship. And I had an option to join for PhD in any institute in the world. Okay, sorry, any institute in the country. So it could be DRDO lab, it could be CSIR lab, it could be any primary institution like any Indian Institute of Science or CCMB, anywhere. Because fellowship comes to me, and any institute will be happy to take me in. But I chose defense organization, uh, contrary to my friends' belief that they were thinking going to the molecular biology, genetics would give us advantage and such things. So I didn't want to take that kind of decisions very early, because uh, when we pick very specializations very beginning of the career, we may miss a bigger picture. Okay, so I didn't want to do that. I just went to DRDO lab. It's called Defense Food Research Lab in Mysore, where I picked up a topic which is not much pursued in the country, which is the biodefense program. Okay, so National Biodefense Program. Uh, it was not a very popular choice for industry because industry do not involve in biodefense. But I wanted to look at something which nobody has done it. So that's where your uniqueness stands apart. When you do something which nobody has done or which people have hardly uh, you know uh, uh, walked that path, you have high likelihood that you become a pioneer. You should always become a pioneer to attract good salaries or join good organizations, build good reputation for yourself. So when I joined DRDO Mysore, though it was a food lab, my topic was more into defense. So if there is a contamination in the food, if somebody has purposefully contaminated food, water, or any such consumable material for civilian or armed forces, how do you detect? No, that's a problem. And I worked on that topic for 5 years. And while I was picking a PhD, one is a main topic, that is anthrax. But I also used to do side hustles, which means I used to work with my colleagues and my co PhD uh, guides and other people on various topics as a sidekick. The reason why I was doing was, if you become more too specialized, you may miss something on other sides. So once in a while, you participate in other programs and such things. Then that's how I built my career in PhD and got two publications, very good publications, and five patents. That was a good, I would say, good record of what I have done. Then I joined postdoctoral fellowship, where I further pursued the similar line biodefense program, but on something very different, something very unconventional. So I'll give you an anecdote here. When I was pursuing my MSc, I had an option of picking a paper or a credit course which is not in biology, but other than biology, like chemistry, physics, mathematics. I can pick up uh, uh, I can pick up any subject other than biology. So that option was available in my university. Today, you don't need a university permission or your professor's permission to do all those things. It's available online. If you guys are really good at biotechnology, you should also be good at coding. One of my student who is in Ireland, while he was doing bioinformatics, he became a specialized into coding and languages and large learning modules. So now he is building what you call this bioinformatic tools for gene discovery, drug discovery, cancer, such things. So conventional biotechnology will not teach you. So you should pick up these skills, on site. Today, new education policy allows you to do it. Maybe you can also pick up some MBA courses, um, and become an entrepreneur. So all those things could happen. So when I picked up inorganic biochemistry, uh, which is a topic about how metals work in our body. See, we have a lot of metals, right? Calcium, iron, zinc, cobalt, selenium. I guess there are 20 plus such materials available. Each of them have their specific roles to play, like cobalt in vitamin B12, iron in myoglobin, hemoglobin, and such stuff. And how do they interact in the body? How are they available in the food? This was the entire course. Though I did not do well because that was not my topic of interest, comfort zone, but I had to pick up because I wanted to do something else nobody has done. And that knowledge of inorganic biochemistry helped me to innovate a new product in my postdoctoral fellowship. A typical detection system to identify a bacteria or a anthrax in food would take PCR around 3 hours and RT-PCR about 1 hour. I could identify whether the spores are present or not in a food sample in less than 20 minutes. No PCR, no big machinery, just a litmus paper. With the paper, I could tell whether a particular food has a contamination or not. This was possible to me because I had a deep understanding of inorganic biochemistry. We also built a innovation on a glass, whatever glass you see, microscopic glass. On that, we could stabilize many materials, made glass as a matrix. Glass is very cheap material, right? So when the research becomes very, very cheap, research outcomes, then it will have impact in the industry. So now industry could pick up these ideas, and they can come to me and tell, look, your innovation is really good. We want to have you in our industry. It so happened to my friend who was also biotechnology, who did a PhD in biotechnology. We don't name biotechnology, biosciences, microbiology. It's only for convenience sake. It's all one. It's called knowledge. Uh, well, he designed a gene which can exactly tell when a particular cell becomes cancerous cell. Okay, he used some genes from electric eel. Then he picked up a gene from bacteria, made a chimeric protein, some stuff like that. That is used in what I would say immunology experiments. And for his entire higher studies, Roche, a company called Roche, sponsored, and Roche acquired the technology. So when you are journeying, you always keep options open. Don't fix that I want to become a professor, I want to become that, I want to become this. In this today's world, it's not working out that way. Uh, I started, after doing my postdoctoral, I was invited by a university, asked me, well, will you come and help us build a research facility for us? And I understood that research alone is not enough. We need to have animal house, we need to have several such stuff. What we call that is a research infrastructure. So education institution is a kind of industry for me, because that's where I'm working. So I joined as assistant professor. I didn't think that I should join as assistant professor. The offer came to me, and I did not bother about the title. What I bothered about is what I can do there, how it will help me back. So it is a win-win situation. The organization where you work, either a company or a corporate or a government or a university, anything, it should be a two-way approach. You should add value to the organization, and the organization should add one value to your growth. So within 1 year, they made me the associate dean. They made me the associate dean for research and development. So within 1 year, then I became a CEO of an incubation center. Incubation center is basically a center where people come with ideas and funds are given to them. They start their own business, such stuff, and especially in life sciences. So within 2 3 years span of time, I built infrastructure like animal house. Then I became a policy maker for the university. Like I was telling the vice chancellor how to structure patents, how to incentivize them. So if you see slowly, I started as a scientist, and I became a teacher. Then I became a dean, then a scientist. Then I set up a biogas unit, and some of my students were working on innovations in waste to value, using microbiology, bacteria, fungi, and solve societal problems. Then we developed a technology to convert, university waste into gas, and this was actually picked by the media, and we got a lot of traction, a lot of awards for this. Then I understood teaching alone is not enough. I should become innovator, or I should actually come with ideas and get some money and start working towards solving the problems in the society while I am part of the university. Then I applied for a grant. Government of India gave me 33 lakhs grant to design vaccine molecules for Salmonella, Shigella, this kind of bacteria. And that went on really well, because when you have that much of money, you can do a lot of research. I had PhD students and such stuff. Then it was like 3 4 years I was working. Though I was a university, I was not into teaching much. I was into science, innovation, coming with new products, new stuff. And so that point of time, Government of India came with a concept called Startup India, where they were promoting students in the colleges to come with new ideas, and they get funding and they can start their own companies, right? not a regular tea shop or delivery partners, not like that. We are talking about a little deeper sciences, converting plastic into something useful using bacteria, or providing new enzymes, creating new molecules for drugs and as a drugs for cancer. Such stuff I'm talking about. Hmm? Then I moved to another university called Krishnadevaraya University in Andhra Pradesh as a manager. Okay, so look, my career, I was a CEO earlier. I moved down as a manager because I understood having a CEO in particular organization makes some sense. But when you are moving with Niti Aayog, which is Prime Minister's office of think tank, under that if I am there, it doesn't matter whether I'm a CEO or manager. But in entering into that kind of ecosystem itself is a game changer, and it happened that it was a game changer in my life. My salary also went down little, 30% reduction in my salary, because it was not the manager post was giving me less salary, but I was ready to accept. The reason is the organization was very important for me. Niti Aayog is a very big organization, directly works under Prime Minister, and if I do something phenomenal there in the down 3 4 years, hard work, I will be recognized, obviously. So then I moved to Atal Incubation Center as the manager. So I was handling students, their innovative ideas, because I already did my PhD, my postdoctoral fellowship. I know how to identify an idea, how to provide resources, how do you structure an experiment, how do you come with an outcome, and how do you take this outcome to the market. So I was supporting 50, 60 startups during that tenure. Within 2 years, I became the CEO of the same organization called Atal Incubation Center. So it's all because of the hard work, and you have picked a stuff which nobody has done, right? I had done a PhD in DRD. The reputation of DRD was so good that people coming from that gained a lot of respect. And DRDO doesn't deal with some topics which everybody does, like cancer, bacteria, infection. We don't do such simple stuff. In DRDO we do a little out of the box, high risk things. So that skill has helped me to consider high risk ideas, and that was recognized by my board, by my board, and they asked me, can you lead this organization as a CEO? And whatever I lost 30% of my salary, from moving my previous organization to Atal Incubation Center. When I became a CEO, my salary went up by 50%. So what I lost, I compensated, okay, quickly, and the growth was phenomenal because I was part of government now, though it was contractual. uh, I could get access to many information, investors, a lot of schemes from the government. This information is very powerful for you. Okay, if you're sitting in some village, if you're sitting in anywhere in the world, if you have information in your hand, and if you know how to handle that information to your advantage, you can grow. So look at if somebody starts a career in assistant professor, you might want to think become associate professor, then professor, from dean or vice chancellor, something like that. You look at, right? I never thought about like that because I am always fascinated by the prime minister's words. He once mentioned, I don't know much Hindi, but I'll try to say what he said. कुछ बनने का इरादा नहीं चाहिए, कुछ करने का इरादा चाहिए. I don't know what it means, but what I understood was, don't try to be something. Try to do something. Your growth is always in your action. So don't go after these titles. These titles really make no sense. As long as you are contributing well, and your CV speaks about what you have done rather than your titles. Under the titles you write, I'm a CEO. Okay, fine, CEO. So what? What have you done? A lot of things you would have done, right? That's what matters. So after being a manager, then I became a CEO. I joined this organization 2018. I became the CEO in 2020, uh, and by then, Government of India was having, by 2023, Government of India was launching G20. Now, since we are part of Atal Innovation Mission, we got a privilege of being part of that, and I was elected to represent India in the G20 to lead startups. So that was the first time in the world that the startups was given a global preference, and we were the first batch of the people who wrote policy for the world. a policy for the world, which means now you are not no more a national person. You are recognized internationally. Look, the growth, how it is happening. That's very important for you. Now today, after whatever I have learned in PhD, vaccines, diagnostics, policy, and such stuff is helping me now to grow in my career. So you become an international, policy maker. You help other countries. In fact, last year I was asked to represent India in Brazil. I had gone representing India in Brazil. So that's how the growth has happened. Uh, and now I am a chief innovation officer and a chief academics officer in a public listed cancer hospital that is called HCG Healthcare Global. This is one of the largest cancer hospital group in India. We have 26 hospitals. Like why they picked me up, right? Because they saw I have multiple skills. One, I know research, I know how to make vaccines and such stuff. I understand clinical aspect of things. Second, I have been in government as a policy maker. On the other side, I have worked with startups. So new technologies, new innovations is known to me. I know how to integrate these new innovations in hospitals. Now they see value in me. That's why they have hired me. That's how you see yourself navigating. If you restrict, see, having goal is good. This is my philosophy. Having a goal is good. Okay, but so work for the goal. But having open-mindedness is better. You can navigate through the systems and you can become many things, and the same skills will be there. Skills always upgrade. When you know how to solve a problem of anthrax, when you solve how to handle the COVID, you can solve bigger things, right? You become an advisor, you become a consultant. So that's how your career goes up and up in the society. And the industry also needs that kind of people, right? Industry needs leaders. So that's what we need today. And that is a from as an individual, as a student like you, how I navigated through this uh, system. So I was in the government DRDO, then I moved to private university, then again came back to Niti Aayog, thing, though contractual. I didn't bother whether it's permanent job, temporary job. Today, that notion of permanent job, temporary job was gone. Okay, there is no point. In fact, I was advised to apply for permanent job positions in government universities. I outrightly denied because I did not feel that there's very little for me to do. Okay, if I'm in an open space, I can do many things, which in government university you may not be able to do it. That is my perception. But if the university allows, you can do that, right? But anyway, so from Niti Aayog again I joined G20 government such stuff. Then I came back to private organization, which is a healthcare global, because it's a public listed company. It is listed on BSE stock exchange. So it's a public listed company. The benefits are more, right? So that's how my trajectory has happened. And during all these things, while this is the main stream of my job, and there were side streams that were happening. I have been advisor, I have been a board member of many other organizations, companies, where I offer my services, time. All those things are going to be value addition in your life, right? So that's how I as a student navigated my life so far, and I intend to continue this in future also. Having a one main job, 50% of that, and 20%, 30% of other stuff. So you become specialist in one thing and generalist in two, three things. Okay. So any questions so far?
Thank you so much, sir, for this insight. Participants, if you have any questions asked to this expert, kindly unmute yourself and ask. Or you can post it in the chat box also.
Yeah, if you can read, that's fine. Or we can answer the chat questions if you want.
So there's one
There's only
question.
one question in the chat. Sorry, go on.
So there's one question from Abhinash Behra.
Yeah.
He's asking,
Yes.
Sir, tell what is the career after MSc Biotechnology and tell what are the industries that hire the biotechnology student that he can join.
Yeah. So biotechnology is a very you know a relevant subject in many industries. I can give you examples of agriculture where you can work on microbiology. I don't know. See, biotechnology is a very vast subject. Okay, anything in biotechnology can be applied in a field. I don't know what biotechnology you're talking about. If you have skills in genetic engineering, like you know how to modify genes, or if you have skills in handling microbes, bacteria, fungi, or yeast, algae, what is that? Because biotechnology is very very vast subject. So don't go by subject. What are the skills you have? You tell me. Which is that you like? There is a company called ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas, right? Corporation, Indian Oil, Shell. All of these companies are putting a lot of money and research in biofuels. Biofuels. So algae is one example of biofuel. If you have skill in that, that is one area where you can look at. Second, same companies, Indian Oil, ONGC, they get diesel, petrol, and other such stuff from different parts of the world. While they're coming on the ship and going to the port, while unloading happens, a lot of spillages happen, right? A lot of oil spillages. There's a lot of bacteria, fungi, different microorganisms that can clear this uh, you know uh, and such stuff we can do if you are interested in. Or when goes to from our food industry. Food industry has taken a different game together now. Probiotics have become, gut microbiome has become something very important. People are able to relate between longevity, cancer to the microbes in the stomach, gut. So if you look at in the market, a lot of bacteria, good bacteria, probiotic bacteria come. Fermentation is becoming a big industry. Today, you may know, I don't know whether you know, alcohol is blended in petrol. 5% alcohol is blended, 10% alcohol is blended. Right now, it is at somewhere 12%. And India wants to move it to 20-25%. This is possible only because of fermentation. Okay, so again, microbes come into the place. So if you want to do drug discovery, please do that. This is all come out of biotechnology. So I'm talking about petrol and diesel to fertilizers to space industry to medical industry and such things. And I know a good number of people from engineering background with no knowledge on biotechnology entering into biospace. I know mechanical engineer guys working on fungi that can effectively replace thermocol. Industry wants that. Industry wants biodegradable thermocol. Where do you get that? The two mechanical engineering students have done it. Collaborated with a biotechnology student. Now they're effectively replacing all the thermocol with fungi, micronutrition. Talk any business, you can find biotechnology. Textiles. Today we are talking about medical textiles. We are talking about biodegradable textiles, vegan textiles. If any of you have really crazy about cactus, can you think of vegan textiles? Yeah. So this is what I mean. You can go on. Lot of stuff is there. It all depends on one, your passion in particular subject. Second, skill sets. You need to pick up those skill sets, read a lot, and go to an organization where you are given an option to experiment, learn stuff. Okay. Uh, Fourth one. Today, internet is having a lot of opportunities to learn. Online, offline. So pick up the stuff. Even at this age, I have undergone a design thinking workshop from University of Australia. Last year only I got a certification. So learning is never ending, right? So uh, that's in general my answer is about. Okay, yeah, and also people think that taxonomy, genetic breeding, and such stuff are no more important zoology. Sorry, very very wrong. I'll tell you, anyone with a basic zoology has a better chances of better career than someone with genetic engineering. You know why? Because 60% of the animals are disappearing from the earth. Entomology, if you can handle an earthworm properly, you can make a big billion-dollar company. There is an organism called black soldier fly. You can just Google black soldier fly. It's a small insect which can transform the agriculture. If you do not know about anything about insects and as an entomologist, how can you even do that? Yeah, right. Conservation is a multi-billion dollar business. Industries are putting a lot of money on conservation, natural conservation, drugs, and bioprospection. Bioprospection means discovery of new medicines in forest, in small bacteria or in insects and such stuff. Right? Industry is looking at that. So if somebody says that don't get into zoology, botany, microbiology, I'm sorry. All this knowledge is required. Okay. I'll give an example. Recently, there is a place in Dehradun which has a special fragrance basmati rice. I'm not able to recall the name, and it has got a lot of value in the international market. So a lot of people were sending this basmati rice to the international market, and at some point of time, people were mixing this basmati rice with some other basmati which was not having any fragrance. Now it was caught, and it was a big embarrassment for the government. The government reached out to Center for DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics. They developed a kit that can differentiate between two different species of uh, basmati. Now, any basmati that comes that is going to for export, it has to undergo this fingerprinting analysis. Now, if the basmati has a mixed one, it will not be exported. If it is not mixed one, it will get exported. Because of this one technology, genetic fingerprinting to identify different species or different varieties of basmati, our exports have gone up several times. So biotechnology can add value in our exports. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So next question is from Bhumi. So what is more important, academic excellence or experience for good industrial jobs in future?
So it's a combination of everything. Without basic theoretical understanding, you will not be able to do very good experiential learning. Suppose there is a concept called green fluorescent protein. It's a small protein which glows green in color in a UV radiation. Now this is available in sea organisms. In ocean organisms, I guess it is in eel, green fluorescent protein, or maybe I don't know bacteria, but it's a beautiful protein. Now, theoretically, you know all these things, but if you do not have an experience of connecting these two protein with green fluorescent protein, all your theory has no knowledge, no use. So it is both. And if you have only experience, you can at best become a good clerk, good office technical person, but you should have a theoretical knowledge to think about that. Okay, I know green fluorescent protein, but how does it behave in different wavelengths? What if I can mutate? What if you do something else? Right? So that's out of box thinking, or thinking very differently from others, comes from a lot of reading. That's theoretical knowledge. So both are equally important. You need to balance. Okay.
So next question is from Sana Ahmed. Uh, she is asking what we should choose after BSc Biotechnology so that we can start earning as soon as possible.
So if you want to earn, you don't need any of these things. Straightforward. Okay, I have a lot of farmers in my center who just a 10th and 12th class. They picked up a skill called mushroom. They're running 10 to 12 lakhs every year, which is like CTC of around 8 lakhs, which is much more than any biotechnology, guys. So if earning is your only thing, focus on skill certification. Okay, after BSc, I don't think you should even waste time on MSc. Okay, go to any agriculture institution, go to any horticulture institution. They have got very good training programs on silviculture, on growing something in hydroponics, or oyster culture, or moti. What do you call that? Both moti, that pearl culture,
Culture.
pearl culture, right? or even fisheries, inland fisheries. There's so many skills are available. Get 6 months skill training program. After the skill training program, you get a lot of bank loans. Start doing that. You can do MSc anytime. Nowadays, all correspondence MSc is available. So you want to waste MSc 2 years being in a college? If you really earning money is your see, earning money is not wrong because we're all here to do that. But there's a way. Somebody wants to earn early. Maybe they want to settle early. Maybe they want to support their family, financial crisis. Or maybe you're not interested. You're not a guy who want to sit in a classroom and hear the boring lectures, right? Maybe you are a hustler. That's your time. I know a lot of my students. They won't even come to my class, but they do very well in exams. So so if that is the case, please do that. Okay. You anyway we have BSc biotechnology, which means you have got a technical knowledge. So pick up the skills. Vermicompost, or a goat rearing, goatery, dragon fruit cultivation. It depends on what resources you have, right? So that way you can, and you can also do corresponding MSc. Any university is giving corresponding MSc nowadays, right? So while you are earning, making money revenues, you also do MSc parallel. Yeah.
So next question is from Manal Khalid. He's asking, sir, there are many fields under biotechnology. Which of them have high scope? Like which field of biotechnology is most potential and beneficial to pursue?
See, again, this is a rhetoric question. I would say every branch has its own benefit. You should know where to tap, right? You may have a industrial biotechnology, but you go to medical, people may not accept. You have to go to particular industry, pick up some skill while you are in the college. Like as I told, some examples. Why I'm giving so many examples is so that you can relate. Biotechnology in conservation, in environmental sustainability, waste to value. Any waste is there, industrial waste, biomedical waste. If you want to convert that into something else, these are all the industries that are coming very fast. Okay, irregular biotechnology with no industrial application has a very little scope. Okay, like I'll tell you a simple example. Right now we are talking about recovering the gold from e-waste. See, electronic waste contains a lot of metals. Someone is trying to grow bacteria on them, grow fungi on them, recover the gold. Now that's very theoretical. But if somebody really cracks that, a lot of industries will be interested. An industry like Apple will be interested. An industry like Samsung will be interested. Now I told you about a fungi that is converted into thermocol. Now all the packaging industries in the country are interested because when they pack any glass material, wine bottle, or very costly material, they always use thermocol. Right, thermocol, it's a petroleum product, byproduct, and when you throw it in the nature, it will get into the water, fishes choked, and pollution happens. Now these are the companies, they put a lot of money to come with this kind of products. So industry where you see direct revenue, where you see immediate impact in the society, this kind of fields have more scope than conventional fields. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So next question is from Bhumi. She is asking, sir, you were in DRDO. Please share more about it and you're working there.
Okay, I guess you may be interested to join DRDO again. That's why you may be asking. It's a very good organization, no doubt. DRDO has 56 labs. There are got 9 sectors like arms and ammunitions, chemical, then food, then biomedical, mineral, such things. You can just go list of DRDO labs in the country. You see 56 labs. Okay, starting from Defense Institute for High Altitude Research, DIHAR, that is very, very near to the Siachen. They are working on extreme conditions. They are working research on extreme conditions. How does food behave in minus 30 degrees? How does human people behave, or how our physiology works in minus 30? Because a lot of people live there, right? Now that's a Defense of High Altitude Research. Then in Delhi we have got DIPAS, Defense Institute for Physiology and Allied Sciences, where they are working on various research aspects of human physiology, because we are Indian Army is one of the largest employer, right? I guess some 60 lakh to 1 crore people are employed in different segments, at least in the front, in the army, like people working in Assam, people are working in submarines, in 45 degrees of Rajasthan deserts, Siachen, very variety of conditions. Each of the geographies, how soldiers behave, uh, what kind of food we need to give, what kind of treatments we have to give. That kind of work is going on. Very interesting work. I did my PhD in a Defense Food Research Lab, DFR in Mysore. If you can recall, most Gulab Jamun, MTR Gulab Jamun, is an outcome of DRDO technology. Okay, most of the food technologies in the open market, ready to cook, ready to eat. Just dip that food in for hot water for 5 minutes. Your food is ready. Rations and all this such stuff are the outcome of DRDO. Okay, typically these are done for soldiers first, then it comes to the open market. Okay, even the coconut water powder today, what we are having coconut water powder, in Bangalore we get, just open the sachet of coconut water powder, dissolve it in water, your coconut water is ready. Yeah, so these are the technologies that defense does. And biodegradable packaging systems. So these are the work that DRDO does. At least I'm talking food and life sciences. And there are other sectors, like you are talking about today, Vishnu, Varaha, Agni, what all other missiles that are coming out, Akash. These are all outcome of DRDO. These are all known products. Unknown products are many. Okay, stealth products, decoy products, yeah, night vision cameras, and camouflage suits. Yeah, now DRDO is official partner of Antarctic exploration team, where they are preparing a mission to have our base in Antarctica. And by the way, the next Gaganyaan that is happening in 2027 by ISRO, the food is being supplied from DRDO. So that's the kind of exciting work you do in DRDO.
So next question is from Savika Zera. She is asking, sir, what is the scope of biotechnology in foreign and how we can apply there?
Foreign, see, it's same. In fact, there you have got two kinds of. If you're looking for a higher education, apply getting a foreign university is much easier than IITs. Okay, so universities in Europe, US, South Korea, Singapore, um, even Middle East, especially in Saudi, very good universities have come up. Don't prefer the public universities rather than private universities, because you get fellowship. And typically, what happens is, at least many of my friends are in various um, uh, parts of the world. Each of them have applied to the professor directly. I have written there, you read about the professor where you want to apply. Suppose you are interested in genetic engineering of or molecular biology of cancer. Now you have to find out which are the cancer institutes in the world who are doing the best work, and find out what is your scope or what is your experience, and write an email to them, talking about what work you are doing, and build your own profile. See, a lot of people will be applying to the professors for the positions. You are one among them. Don't expect that you will get it straight away call, come and join. No, you have to fight, right? So you have to pick up your skill. You have to tell that, look, these are my skills. I am good at these things. It appears that you are also doing some work is related to this, and I want to pursue my career in that, and also have a personal story in that. Don't fake, but personal story. If is this something like, if any family member in our in our family in a village is suffering something like that, if you want to solve that problem, that is should be legitimate. You cannot cook up a story, right? If that kind of thing is there, the possibility of you getting position in a foreign university is better. And some universities have IELTS and GRE and such stuff you need to go through. And by the way, we also have a lot of fellowship programs like India, US, Science Technology Student Exchange Program, Nehru Fulbright Fellow, Erasmus Fellowship from Sweden, yeah, Max Planck institutions. All of them have fellowships. They have their own exams. So you need to find out and write through the exams. and you will get it. Okay.
So next question is from Bhumi. She is asking, sir, we have seen that recently the extincted wolf has came to life by the help of genetic engineering. Please throw light to that, how it happened.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Uh, we have seen that recently the extincted wolf has came to life by the help of genetic engineering. Please throw light to that, how it happened.
Longevity, extended life. Yeah, something around that.
Okay. Next question is from Owais Ahmed. What currently is the biggest problem in the biotech industry, and which all the fields should we avoid in biotech for upcoming years?
Okay. See, uh, we are dealing with life sciences. If it is something related to engineering or IT, there are certain domains which we can avoid. In biotechnology, it's very difficult to tell which domain to avoid, because even if you pick up any domain, we are dealing with life. Life always evolves. We need food. We are touching some of the important aspects of human life, right? Food, medicine, clothing, yeah, housing, all of them are actually addressed by biotechnology, right? So we cannot simply say that this particular domain is useless, this particular domain is useful. Every domain is useful its own way. But my caution here is, if you are taking a basic subjects like say, let's say botany, zoology, or entomology, such subjects, you always complement those subjects with its application in the industry. Okay, then people might show interest. Like for example, taxonomy people find it very very boring subject. Okay, but without taxonomy we cannot even discover a new tree, a new plant, or a new bacteria, or anything like that, right? And after discovery, what are you going to do with the discovery? It's a nice academic project. Universities might be interested. Okay, but industry will be interested when you show application of it, right? So let's say take an example of a certain bacteria which you have discovered, and that can degrade pesticides. There are a lot of pesticides which are synthetic, right? So you might have discovered a bacteria which degrades pesticides. Now people are talking about organic today a lot. Now this bacteria, if you show an application, it can degrade, endofuran, or this kind of glyphosate or that kind of pesticides. You are hitting a gold mine. Companies like ITC will be happy to take. You need to show its industrial application. Otherwise, it's good academic research. If you want to be a professor, good. But you want to be in industry, application oriented is what they look at. They'll not be interested in basic, because basic takes 10 years to become application oriented and they don't have the patience. So application oriented is what you look at. Hmm.
Thank you, sir. So there's last question from my side. Sir, I'm currently pursuing masters in botany. So there's always a debate like applied subjects have more career opportunities than the core subjects. So can a core subject student enters into the industry?
Can a core subject student enter?
Into the industry, for
Yeah,
the
possible. See, again, I'll tell you, it's all depends on what is that you are going to offer to the industry. Okay, you cannot simply say, "Oh, I am MSc MSc botany. Please take me." They'll not take. You tell that. Okay, I'll give you a hypothetical situation. You are botany guy, so it might be interesting. Western Ghats is covered with at least from Sahyadri and down to Nilgiris. At least 30% of the forest is covered with non-native species, like acacia. It's not even a native, and it is destroying the entire ecosystem, which is costing thousands of crores to the government. Okay, now industries want to go for a afforestation program. Let's say JSW, Jindal Steel, they produce a lot of carbon dioxide because they need to make steel. Okay, without that we cannot build houses, and without burning carbon dioxide a plant you cannot make steel. So it's obvious they cannot do beyond. So what they do is they do carbon offsetting, which means if they produce some 1,000 tons of carbon dioxide, they spend that much. They spend certain money to compensate for the 1,000 tons of carbon dioxide by planting trees elsewhere. Now they will reach out to NGOs. Please go and plant trees. They will pick some nonsense trees. Some trees have no value. They become sometimes invasive because they want to grow fast. They bring some tree and grow, which is non-invasive. Birds may not eat it. Pollination may not happen. They produce some toxic chemicals which will not allow other plants to grow. This is what happens. So if you go to industry and tell, look, I have a tool which can tell you which plants were the native and what is the imbalance that has happened in this nature, and I am going to plant similar trees which will rebalance nature, not only puts forest. So industry is interested. Second, I can also give, because I reviewed one project of 1 crore rupee worth. You know that bio bricks, or what is this called, briquettes, charcoal briquettes as a source of firewood. Okay, charcoal briquettes are used in many places instead of firewood because they believe charcoal briquettes have more energy per square centimeter or something like that. But charcoal is done by burning any material under limited oxygen. Now, which plant material gives more energy, less smoke? How do we know? It's people from botany can help, right? So this is how you have to approach an industry. Look at what industry is lacking, what industry's gap is there. You should be able to fill the gap, right? Otherwise, you're like any other employee, you're like any other pin punch code, you are like any other human being. You're not a unique person. So that's in general, I have given how it works in industry.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Anyone have more questions for this, sir? Please post in the chat box.
Okay. What we do is
Yourself.
we take few questions like this maybe a little later. Then I have one more. Are we done, or we have some more time?
Yes,
Sir,
sir,
we
we
have 5 minutes more. We can proceed.
Okay. So I want to give industry's perspective. See, now I am in a cancer hospital. I'm a chief academics officer and innovation officer. And the way it is recruited in cancer hospitals or any other cancer healthcare is, what is that you are adding value to the organization, right? So you have to come with that kind of profile, that we are not really looking at your qualification. See, I'm not even a medical doctor. Okay, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not even fit into in a hospital ecosystem. But what they saw in me is, I've designed vaccines and I worked with government and I have innovated a lot of stuff around startups. They felt if this guy comes in, maybe he can plug the gap between startups and corporate world. Okay, and that uniqueness you have to bring on board when you're going to the industry. And don't go and beg for the job. Okay, please do not mind my language. Please don't go and beg for the job. Please, मुझे नौकरी दीजिए. Never do that. You always tell very affirmative. Look, I am so and so. This is what I have done. I understand that your industry is doing in this businesses, and my work is in this line. I feel that my profile, I can add value to your industry in top 3 lines. That should be your pitch. You should always give them a scope to come back to you and say, hey, look, your profile seems to fit into my industry thing. Why don't you come and talk? Then you go. Okay, that's how I have always done it. I never tell that please give me job. I always told in my mails and such things, I'll tell, look, I'm so and so. And you need to understand the founder's mindset. If you're writing to a founder of that industry, or if you're writing to the HR of that industry, you should understand the industry's interest points, the last 3 years, what that industry has done and where they have failed. Okay, they don't want a staff, they want someone to solve their problems, right? Then you can negotiate salary. Don't ask this much salary, that much salary. Tell, this is what I am capable of doing, and this is what it is given in other industry, or this is what given in my previous organization. You leave it there. Let them come back with the number. Okay. And industries also realize that if you give peanuts, monkeys will come. Okay. So if you ask peanuts, also you are equally equating yourself to monkey. You okay? Don't under put value of the your work. But how do you put value for your work? That's again based on your learning experience. Okay, don't think that only IIT guys or big institutes can learn things. Today, that those things are gone. Even sitting in a small corner of the world, if you have good internet, if you are willing to learn, I'm sure you can do many things. I have a lot of students from Jabalpur, Gwalior, small institutes. No, they're not from IITs. You can't do. Many of them can't even speak English. Okay, they came. Some of them came from Burdwan, West Bengal. That fellow 10 years over, he can't even speak English even today. Yeah, he did PhD. He got a gold medal, a DST Inspire Fellow, and now he's running his own company with a turnover of 10 crores per year. He can't speak English even today because English is not a barrier now, right? So, so skills are very important, and your passion is very important. Okay, and always be willing to learn things new, and don't fix your mind to particular pathway. Be open. That's what my learning is. That's how I have done it.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an enriching and inspiring session. Your journey insights into innovation and encouragement for young minds have truly set the tone for the summer school. We are grateful for your time and wisdom. I am sure the participants will carry today's lesson with them for a long time.
So thank you so much for extracting your from your precious time, and it was really an enlightening a session, and I hope all the students have got benefited from whatever you told them, and they must have got some futuristic view that what they want to do after pursuing their career in means degree in life sciences or biotechnology or biochemistry, whatever degree they are taking. Sir, personally, I would be connecting with you after the summer school gets over in 24 to get
Sure.
some insights about how to move on. And also, since I had been into these universities for career guidance to these students, so I will be seeking some of your guidance of how to guide these students further. So, thank you so much for
Yeah,
your
yeah,
precious
that's
time.
useful, and I'll be happy to do that. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Sir.
Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
the
much.
opportunity. Good luck to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, we can introduce the other speaker, Jayasree, who has also been my student. Welcome, Jayasree, to the board. And
Thank
Yash,
you,
please
ma'am.
welcome. Yash, please introduce Jayasree, and then we will proceed with her talk.
Okay. Now I feel privileged to introduce our next speaker, Ms. Jayasree Reddy, who will be guiding us today as a mentor and workshop coordinator. She is a soft skill development and communication trainer known for her dynamic workshops, interactive sessions, and real-time guidance for students and professionals alike. Here's a brief look at her inspiring journey. She holds an MSc in Bioscience from Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, Anantapur, Andhra Pradesh. She started her research career as a junior research fellow on an oral cancer stem cell project. She transitioned into the healthcare domain as a trainee medical coder at Omega Healthcare Bangalore. She advanced to coding specialist at Logic Health Bangalore, mastering ICT and CPT coding. Currently, she is working as a senior analyst at R1 RCM Hyderabad, specializing in clinical documentation, compliance, and healthcare analytics. Welcome, Jayashree.
Thank you, Yash, for the introduction.
Jayashree, along with your talk, please do give some introduction about the healthcare sector
Sure, ma'am.
and how students should get into it.
Yes, definitely, ma'am. Definitely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, everyone. Hope you all are doing great. I am Jayashree, and introductions are already done. Firstly, I would like to thank Kausav Karirika team for having me here today. It's really my pleasure to speak to you all today. Before I begin, I would really want to take a moment to acknowledge my dear Pratima ma'am, like Dr. Pratima Tripathi, your founder of Kausav Karirika. I had the privilege of being her student for over more than 3 years, and I was awestruck by the way she taught us. Like whenever she used to enter the classroom, she never had a textbook in her hand. She just walked into the class, she picks a chalk piece, and then she writes on the board, and then that's it. Everything gets into her head. This is how she used to teach us. Ma'am made us all believe that the real learning happens beyond the pages of books. And ma'am, it is really inspiring to see you today like this. Like now you have been, the founder of this platform, which is helping young minds to find their path. Ma'am, you're always inspiring, and I hope you continue to inspire a lot of students like us. Thank you for doing this, ma'am. uh, yeah, now I would like to get into
Yes, Jayashree, thank you so much for this thing, for telling the students that how I had been your teacher and how I had been guiding you people, and also I had been scolding you all so much. But at the same time, you people always behave like kids, means getting scolded yet coming back again and again and
yes.
again for learning. So that had been a beautiful experience, which every teacher wants that her students or his students should come back with the and should not mind what the teacher is telling, because ultimately the teacher's goal is to guide the student, to tell them what is best for them. My son is
True,
making
ma'am.
so much of noise behind.
Yes.
Okay, so welcome, and please proceed with the talk.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Uh, so there was a question from the previous speaker's talk. As Sir Shivakiran has rightly pointed out, if you want to get into industry or if you want to start earning as soon as you finish your BSc, you don't have to go for MSc. He was very right when he was saying this. So his main theme was saying that pick up skills. So there is one skill that I am going to talk about, which you can, get into this career. You can just get into this career right after your BSc, even after MSc. I got into this after MSc, and I am a person who first got into research, like the academic side, and then transitioned my career into industry side. That is because of some personal reason, and also because of COVID and all that. So I would like to share my screen before introducing you to this new field in the healthcare. I hope my screen is visible. Please let me know if my screen is not.
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you. So the name of the field is medical coding. So how many of you are aware of this, or have you heard of this field before? Can you all raise your hand? Any of you are aware of this field in the field of healthcare? Okay, fine, no problem. So I would walk you through. Okay, okay, okay. Mohammad Faisal has already heard about this. No problem. Okay, to everyone. So this is a domain in healthcare. So now what is this? This is all of us at one point of our life thinking whether we should choose a career in the academic side, because we have learned a lot, we have studied, we have written a lot of records, we have done a lot of experiments in the lab. So because of all the hard work, should we go for academics and go for research, or go for teaching, or do PhD on postdocs, or should we work as a junior research fellow, or should we choose industry side, like go to the office, work from 9 to 6, come back, relax in the weekend, work for 5 days in a week, the rest 2 days are hours. So this choice is always, it's always a difficult path. I mean, it's not this easy as I said. So this crossroads is always a, I mean, like we all are stuck at one point of our lives, right? So trust me, it is okay if your career path is not clear, because nowadays everything has become interdisciplinary. Like if you are a bioscience student or a life science student or a biochemistry student, it doesn't mean that you have to stick to the same field. There are a lot of, you pick data science, which is emerging now, and you see what is related to bioscience and data science, you will get a lot of things that you can get into. So everything nowadays is interdisciplinary. So do not worry about the career choice that we all are confused. Like everybody who got into a career right now, we're all confused at one point of our lives. And once we choose one, we try one. If it doesn't fit into that, then we change. We take a different path, right? So trust me, it is absolutely okay if you are confused at this point. So there is one option that I am going to talk about you all today. As I've already told, it is medical coding. And yeah, academics, you all know you can either go for research or go for teaching or pursue a PhD. But what about industry? Can you see the flowchart here? There are a lot of industries that we as science students can get into. And the first one here in the healthcare sector, here can you see the medical coding here? I am going to talk about this field called medical coding, which we can opt as a career option just right after your BSc. Even MSc people are eligible, but yeah, so this is one option. Now, what is medical coding? So most of you, by hearing the word coding, you might think that it involves real coding. Do I need to know any coding language, any you know programming language? No. The coding that as suggested by the word here in the medical coding is not real coding. What like what the IT folks do, it is not that coding. So it is about translation of medical diagnostics or medical procedures or treatments that is done in a hospital into standardized codes. And these codes are followed throughout the world in the US, UK, Australia, everywhere. So there is a specific set of codes that the whole world follows. So what we do is we translate a disease or a procedure or a diagnostic test into a code. And how do we do this? We will get to know in the further slides. Okay. So here is an example. Here, the first picture that you see is a patient coming with fever. So if the patient comes with a fever, there is a code for the fever that is given here. The second thing that you see here is a person comes with a chest pain. Let's say he has a chest problem and he has come with a chest pain. So there is a code that is already encrypted. And if chest X-ray is done to the patient, then we assign a code that is here given here. And the third picture that you're seeing here is the sutures. If there is a cut happens in the skin, we call it in medical terminology, we call it laceration. Okay. So whenever there is a cut, what does the doctor do? He just stitches it up, right? So for that also, for the services provided by the doctor, it is a surgical procedure. So for the services done, there is a code and we assign a code when the suture repair is done. This is a medical procedure. Okay. So this is the overall picture. Like what medical coding is, you have understood from this picture, I believe. Okay. Now, I know there are a lot of questions in your mind. Why are we doing this? And whom are we working for? And what impact does our work have in this world? Okay. You will get answers to all the three questions at the end of this presentation. Okay. First thing, why are we doing this? Before getting to know why answer, first I would like to explain to you what happens. We are basically working for US people. Like we work for US hospitals, United States of America, I'm talking about US hospitals and the insurance companies. We act as a bridge between the hospitals and the insurance companies. Okay. So what happens here in India? If you fall sick, what do? We go to the doctor, we get ourselves treated, we pay them the money and come back. US citizens, it doesn't work like that. Being a US citizen, they always have to opt for health insurance, and that is compulsory for every individual in the United States. So what happens is, here you see an insured person first goes to the healthcare provider, that is nothing but the doctor or the hospital, to get some medical services done for himself. So whatever services are covered by the insurance will be processed further by us, like the medical coders, and the rest of the payment will be done by the patient himself. So the partial co-payment will be done by the patient himself. Now, whatever has to be paid by the insurance companies will go to the further processes where the coding comes into the picture. Here, we take the medical record of the patient, like how the doctor has treated the patient and what services has he provided, what are the tests done on the patient, what has he diagnosed, and what is the follow-up period. Based on all these things, we have a specific set of codes, so that comes to coding. Now we take the record of the patient, code it, and send it to billing. So this is the overall picture of how the United States healthcare system works. Now where are we? We are between the hospitals and the insurance. We are here. The medical coders act as a bridge between healthcare providers and the insurance companies. Now, okay, this looks complex, I know. So the whole process in technical terms is known as revenue cycle management. So the whole process, as I've explained, is known as revenue cycle management. So it's a cycle. Patient comes, gets himself treated, then he pays some and the insurance companies will pay. Again, the patient pays back to the insurance companies. So this nothing but a cycle. So this cycle is called revenue cycle management. Now, I would like to draw your attention to uh, once again, yeah. Now I would like to draw your attention to this cycle where there are more opportunities. See, healthcare domain itself is a very big domain. In that, medical coding is a very small part, and in the revenue cycle management there are a lot of other opportunities also. See, here can you see the first step, that is called start of a claim. So beginning of the claim, there is one career opportunity that we can find here. The first thing is called medical transcription, which is not mentioned here, but it is also a career opportunity that we healthcare students can pick up. I mean, the life science students as a whole can pick up. It is called translation. So what happens is, you will see in a screen the live interaction between the doctor and a patient. Okay, so the patient will explain his symptoms to the doctor, and the doctor will diagnose. He will give some tests, and whatever has to be recorded will be seen as talking, just the words. Okay, now this has to be transcribed into text. This transcription is called medical translation. That is the first opportunity, career opportunity, that we see in the revenue cycle management. So nowadays it is not that tough. There are a lot of softwares which convert speech to text. But then you would have observed, whenever you try to talk, and then the phone itself takes down the note, and there'll be a lot of spelling mistakes and corrections. And if it is in the case of medical terminology, there'll be a lot of errors. So now the job of the translator is to correct all. So there are a lot of part-time jobs also in this specific field, and you will be paid based on how many minutes of the talk you have transcribed. So that is also an opportunity from the first this thing. And then the second is medical coding, the second step. Medical coding is nothing but the translation of codes. The records that is sent by the translator to the coding companies will be transcribed into codes, translated into codes from the medical terminology to codes. Okay, that is the second opportunity that we find in the revenue cycle management. And the third option that we see here in the third part is denial management. So whatever claims the coder is going to submit for billing sometimes get rejected based on some factors. So now, why is a claim getting rejected? That duty the denial management team does. So that is also a career option which one can choose. You will be trained. You will be trained also for the same thing. Now they will observe the trend of the denials, why the claims are getting rejected, and then they'll try to correct it. So that is the third opportunity called denial management. The fourth is AR calling. This is another career opportunity that we find in revenue cycle management. In the AR management, what happens is, whatever claims are rejected, they will go to the AR management and they will reprocess the claim and send it back to billing again, so that the insurance companies correct and give this payment back to the doctor. Okay, so that is done by AR management. So we have seen four different career options in the smallest sector called revenue cycle management in the whole of healthcare industry. Okay, now going to the next slide. Now you will have a lot of questions. Do we need prior coding knowledge to do this? Do we need to know any of the computer programming language to do this? Do we have to memorize things? The answer is no. You don't have to do any of these to do coding. Then how do we do it? The answer is in the next slide. So there are a lot of books that we follow to assign different codes. And don't get scared looking at the size of the book here. You don't have to memorize anything. So first thing that they teach you in coding is how to look up in the book, how to look for a code in these books. There are different codes, like for diseases there is a different book, for procedures there is a different book, for surgeries there is a different book. Okay, so there are different books for different set of codes. Now looking up into the book is just like how you find the word in a dictionary. It will all be in alphabetical order, and then you just have to go to that particular alphabet. Suppose say appendicitis is a procedure, go to A, then the next alphabet P, go to appendicitis and find what code is assigned and give it. So when you work, you don't have to keep books next to you. You don't have to refer books, look like a dictionary, find the code and assign. It is not that way. Okay. So there are a lot of softwares that are there nowadays. So these are all the names of the softwares that we use in our workplace to find a code. So how this software usually works is, there is a search box there. Suppose I want to find a code for chest X-ray one view. I will just type chest X-ray and it will give me the code. Okay, now I know next question will be, if this work is this easy, anybody and everybody can do it. Why life sciences, right? The thing is, there are a lot of guidelines that you will have to follow. Okay, it is not just look into a code and give it. Suppose I say, I'll give you one example. Okay, um, I hope you all are aware of the disease called chronic kidney disease. So, people who have diabetes are more prone to get kidney disease. Okay, there are a lot of stages in the chronic kidney disease, and the last stage is end stage renal disease. Okay, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the sixth stage is end stage renal disease. Suppose, being a science student, we know that the diabetes and the kidney disease are related. Now, whenever the patient comes with a problem saying that he has a chronic kidney disease, now we have to go to the past medical history of with the patient and see if the patient has got diabetes or not. And there will be a combination code for diabetes and chronic kidney disease, and we are supposed to give the combination code. So this is why they want life science graduates. Okay. Uh, if it was just searching and giving the codes, then anybody and everybody can do it, right? So this is how we apply our brains, I can say. Okay. So now who can become a medical coder? Now, anybody from life science, any life science graduate, pharmacy students, nursing is what is mentioned in the profile. Like if you see, if you go and search in the Naukri platform, like medical coder vacancies, then they will say we want students from life sciences background or pharmacy background or nursing background. In fact, many of the MBBS students are also like getting into this profession, but that is not the reality. Any graduate who is interested in learning healthcare or interested in learning human anatomy and physiology is eligible. I have a lot of friends working with me and my colleagues who are from computer science background, chemistry background, lot of from arts background. Okay, there are a lot of different background people coming and doing this work. They just learn anatomy, get themselves certified, and then grow in this career. So everybody who knows human anatomy and physiology are eligible to work. Okay. Now, what are the key skills needed? Now, if you want to enter as a fresher into the field, what are the skills that industry is expecting from you? They just expect you to know human anatomy and physiology, like not in depth. You just need to know how does the digestive system function, how does the nervous system function, where is this particular bone, what is the smallest bone, which is the largest bone, where are the joints, where are the ligaments, where are the tendons. So you need to know all this. They expect you to know only the basics of all the systems, basically. And then medical terminologies. So you also need to understand a lot of medical terminology. Suppose if I say endoscopy, a student from arts background might not know, but being a science student, we know that there is a camera attached to a flexible tube and that is inserted inside to check the vitality of the internal organs, that is endoscopy. So these kind of small terminologies, medical terms, you are expected to know as a fresher. So even if you enter, if you give interview as a fresher, the questions that they ask are all about anatomy and physiology and medical terminology. There are a lot of prefixes and suffixes in the medical terminologies that you need to know. They just expect you to know the meaning of all the prefixes and suffixes. And then ICD, CPT, HICPICS. These are all coding terminologies. As a fresher, they don't expect you to know all these things, but you just need to have a basic information about what medical coding actually is. Okay. And communication skills and excel skills are expected as always. Any field you get into, you need to have a little communication skill just to talk to your manager or to person you are reporting to and all that. Excel skills is just to enter the data that you are processing. That's all. Not completely. Basics of Excel is enough. Now now once you're getting into this career, how is my growth going to be if I enter this career? Okay. Now, here I have pasted one clip from Naukri. Just search from whichever job platform like wherever you're finding your jobs, no, just search medical coder openings or vacancies in any of the locations. Can you see here, I didn't log into the Naukri. Once you log in, it will show more. Without logging in, there are around 1589 openings for medical coder, that which is huge. Okay, there are a lot of opportunities because we have a lot of departments: emergency department, outpatient department, inpatient department, surgery. There are a lot of departments. In medical coding itself is a huge, in that we have a lot of departments. So including everything, we have almost around 1500 to 1600 openings, and more than that. You go to LinkedIn, you will find more. So you can see the salary also, it is going up to 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 24 lakhs also, as you progress in your career. Okay, and locations also, not just in South India, because me being in South India, showing South India, there are a lot in North Indian states also. Okay, and then to talk about this field, so as you see, opportunities are huge. And US people, like, this is, I initially told that this is, we work for US citizens, right? Why are they outsourcing work to India? Because if you work as a coder in US, they'll have to pay you more. So what most of the insurance companies do is, to reduce their cost, they outsource the work to India. That is why there are a huge of like, there are a lot of organizations in India which work on medical coding. So it is one of the major outsourcing destination to US insurance companies. And then another pro of this, I mean, another good skill, I mean, another good point regarding the growth is, they take a lot of freshers. Even I entered as a fresher, so entry level opportunities are really more in this field. Okay, now once you get into the career, how is your growth, how is it going to be, like, how is your career progression going to be? Now you enter as a trainee coder first. Okay, you develop some skills, you show your skill set, then you will be promoted as a senior analyst. From senior analyst, you will be moved to auditor. Now who are auditors? The one who codes is a coder. Now auditor is a person who sees if the coding is done rightly or not. He will check the records of the coder. So once you do coding, then your job is easier. You just have to do corrections. That is it. So that is the auditor. So to become an auditor, you will need to have almost 3 to 4 years of experience. Okay. And then you will become a group coordinator. Coordinator is a person who makes sure that the workload for that day is equally distributed among everybody or not. So that is your next role. Now again, your work burden has reduced after your role is changed. You don't have to do coding, you don't have to do corrections, you just have to make sure that the work is equally distributed or not. And next is the team leader. He just manages team. And then manager level. So this is how your career graph is going to be if you get into this career. And I know most of you must be curious about the salary and all. Frankly speaking, the initial uh, pay once you get into the field might be less. It will start with around 4 lakhs per annum to 4.5 lakhs per annum. When we were starting the career, it was much more lesser. So how your growth is going to be in terms of pay. So once you work in with an organization, every year there will be annual increments, and some of the companies even give quarterly increments also. My first company which I worked in, we were getting quarterly, like every 4 months there will be an increase in the salary. So there'll be almost around 50 to 20% increase in the salary annually. And then once you shift from one company to another, there'll be around 40 to 50% increase in your pay scale for every shift. So what people usually follow is this. Okay, I'm not supposed to reveal this, but what usually people do is, when you get into an organization with less pay, they shift and get 40% hike. They shift again, get 40% hike. Once they feel that they're getting enough income, then they look for growth in that organization. They'll stabilize themselves in the organization and look for growth. So this is how your pay scale is going to be. They will, if you stay in the organization, there'll definitely be 15 to 20% hike. And even if you shift also, there'll be around 30 to 40%, like 40 to 50% hike. And there are also opportunities to work abroad, and even there are opportunities to work remotely also. I worked for almost 2 years from home. Then just for the progression, I shifted to a better company which didn't give work from home, unfortunately. Now I'm working from office, but there are a lot of work from home opportunities in medical coding. And then I have friends who are working in the US for hospitals as medical coders also. Pay is good there, but then you will have to do some certifications, which I'll be talking in the next slide, to work, to work abroad. There are a lot of opportunities. There are people working in Dubai, US, Australia also as coders. And based on the specialization, you will have different pay scales also. Like nowadays, inpatients and surgery, they pay the most. Okay, like people with 1 or 2 years experience get around 12 lakhs per annum, 14 lakhs per annum. The pay is good, but the growth is gradual here. Like you start with less, and once you gain experience based on your planning and based on the company you choose, the your pay scale increases gradually. Now, I was talking about certifications, right? So, when you compare a certified versus a non certified coder, what is certification? Basically, when you get a skill set, you need to show that you are skilled, right? To show the skill, you need to write some exams and pass them. Okay, that is nothing but the certification. You get yourself skilled, and then attempt the exam, pass, and get a certificate that is valid throughout your life. You show it to the companies, and then they'll hire you. And there is always a difference in the pay scale between a certified and a non-certified person. Taking opting for a certification or non-certification is our personal choice, but the pay scale is better when you are certified. And here you can see a list of certifications. There are a lot of certifications based on which department you are interested in. You can do the certification based on your interest. Okay, so this is just to show that you are proficient in coding, and also to increase your pay scale. Okay, and then companies usually prefer certified coders. So the chance of you getting hired is more when you do a certification. Even if you don't do also, you can. I recently got certified. My journey with as a non-certified coder is for almost 3 years. I was non-certified because I wasn't sure if I'm going to continue in the same department or a different department, so I couldn't get into. Then I saw a good growth. Then I got myself certified and stabilized myself in a good company. Now that you know a lot, like now you have got a rough idea about what coding is, how your career growth is going to be, how is your pay scale going to be. Now, how do I start and where do I begin? Now I am just finishing my BSc or MSc. Where do I start? So there are two options. Okay, first thing is there are a lot of training institutes in India. They are giving both online and offline trainings to get yourself placed in organizations. That is one option. The second option is the companies themselves are hiring freshers and training them and placing in their own organization as coders. I would suggest you to go to the second option because we all being science students, we all know what anatomy is and we can easily crack the interviews. So I feel go as a trainee into the companies, get yourself trained for 2 or 3 months, then get a job in the same organization itself and start working. So this is an option. If you feel that you are not good at anatomy or if you are from a different background, then you can go for training institutes. They will train you in anatomy, they'll give you basics of coding, and if you want certification also, they'll train you for certification, and they'll get you certified also. And some of them offer placements also, but it is not that easy. We can find ourselves, like we can easily find placement for ourselves. So this is how it is going to be. This is how you're going to start if at all you want to get into this career. And next, now, once I get into this career, how is my life going to be every day? Okay, let me tell you, it is just a 9 to 5 or 9 to 6 job. They expect you to work for around 7.5 hours, excluding break hours. So you get into the office, turn on your system, and you are assigned. You're not bothered about everybody around. You work as a team, but you're not bothered about your specific work is given to you. So this is your target for today. You start your work, finish your target, log out for the day, leave. That is it. So you work for 5 days a week, and 2 days you get a week off, then start again as fresh in the next week. So this is how your life is going to be. And then there'll be some team meetings where your achievements, your quality, and your progression is talked about. That's all, not much. and in a day maybe one or two meetings, not regularly also. So this is how you're going to be. Go, check your target, finish your target, log out, and then leave. So this is how your life is going to be. So what do you do? Open a patient record, then do the coding for diagnosis, procedures, and all that. Submit, submit it to the next process. Leave for the day. That is all. This is how your life is going to be as a coder. Now, why choose a career in healthcare? There is job stability. Now, as you hear recession and all these terms, this scares a lot, right? Being in IT, recession is a nightmare for any of the professionals. And trust me, in healthcare, till now, there is no recession at all. Because the workload is very high. You keep getting work from the US. So job demand is also high because of the huge volumes that we get. And then you have a diverse, like all of us here wanted to become doctors at one point of our lives. Am I right? When we were doing our 12th, why did we choose BPC? We all wanted to become doctors, right? So so if you are not becoming a doctor, you want to get into a healthcare and work for patients and hospitals and all that. This is one option that you can contribute from your side for a hospital or a doctor. And then opportunities are huge. There are global career opportunities, as I've told. People work for US, Dubai, like from there itself. And then UK also, Australia. And one more option is people who want to work from home. You have a lot of options. Like many of the organization offer you work from home opportunities. You can work from here. And then pay scale also. There's a gradual growth, as I've told. Like every year, you can expect around 15 to 40% hike based on how you choose your path to be. So this is all about medical coding, that is in the healthcare. Thank you. And if you have more questions about the field, you can ask me now. And hope I made myself clear. I hope you all have understood what I wanted to convey.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, if you have any question, you can post in the chat box or can directly ask the speaker. Unmute yourself and ask.
Jayasree, your talk was really impressive, and I think what I have been listening from you, from your talk, I think students are absolutely clear what they need to do. Means when I went for a career counseling at Era University, Integral University, I told them that medical coding is one of the profession they can take up in healthcare sector. But
Yes.
then at that time I was means unable to tell them, but due to time constraint also, and also because I found that a person who is into it would be the most valuable person and the most experienced expert, you can say, who can tell them how and where to proceed on. So I think now the how, when, where, and what segments are clear to them. And with this, I would request all the students, since today this is the second lecture and this is the end of going to be the end of today's session, a summer school session. So please ask your questions as much as possible, because these experts are not going to meet you again and again and again. You have to be very much open to ask the questions and get a clear cut idea about what you are going to do. And at all, if you get a chance to to enter into these segments of your career, how you are going to proceed on. Please, students, ask questions and make yourself clear. Make the best use of this opportunity that you have got today. Please post your questions. If you can't speak, please post your questions in the chat box. Yash, we will wait for 1 minute. If we get questions, fine. Otherwise, we can proceed on with the closer of today's session. All of you, please ask questions, whoever do have. If you people are feeling nervous or hesitant in asking questions, you can post your questions in the chat box. Or you can raise your hands and ask your questions. Just no doubt, your
Okay.
talk was really good and remarkable, and I think students must have got a vision of this particular segment of the healthcare sector,
Thank
and
you, ma'am. I
also
hope I was not very fast, ma'am. Actually, this is the way I speak.
it was absolutely
It's
fine.
clear. Okay.
Still you don't speak faster than me,
Yeah.
so it was
There is a
fine.
message from Bhumi Kumari. She is saying that you explained everything well and everything is clear. Thank you for that, Bhumi. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to Pratima, ma'am. Ma'am will approach me and I can answer you all. Even if you
Bhumi
want
is
to, yeah.
Jayasree, I have also launched internship programs in my venture. So Bhumi is going to be one of the interns for
Okay.
1.5 a month, and definitely whatever questions they ask, all these students, they are most welcome to post their questions on costaskarurika@gmail.com, or they can post their questions even to Yash. We will forward all the questions to the relative
Definitely, ma'am.
experts, and we will make the answers clear to them.
Sure.
So because we are now into too much into all these things, so it is like going to be two-way communication. Whatever questions
Yeah.
comes to us will be answered, so
Yeah.
that is not an issue. But right now I feel because most of the students are going to have their exams also, so they are under pressure of their exams.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So with this, Yash, you can cast a vote of thanks for today's session, and then you can make announcements as I told you, then we will proceed. Okay? Jayashree,
Thank you.
thanks a lot. And I can
Thank you,
see
ma'am.
that you all are same as I left you 13 years back. So
Definitely, ma'am. It is all your grace, really.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, please proceed.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful insight on blending the science and skills together. Before we close, I would like to highlight an exciting opportunity from Costas Karirika. Costas Karirika is happy to announce its nationwide summer internship program for the year 2025, which is starting from 25th of June. The internship is open for UG and PG students from both science and humanities background. We have different tracks that are introduced in our internship program for both these streams. If you're interested in career counseling, academic mentoring, research writing, or skill building workshop, this internship is a great platform. Now, what are the benefits of this internship? You will get a chance to work closely with the experts, gain hands-on experience, build your resume, and contribute meaningfully to the education space. More details will be shared with you on the WhatsApp group after the program. So stay tuned and keep giving your best. Also, your feedback is matter to us. We will be sharing a feedback form link in the chat box. Please take just 2 minutes to fill it out after the session. This helps us to understand your experience and improve our upcoming programs. To officially close the day, I would like to deliver a vote of thanks. And I would like to invite Dr. Pratima Tripathi to do the things.
Uh, Thanks to
Thank
all
you,
the
ma'am.
participants and the experts. A special thanks to Dr. Shivakiran sir, and also to my dear student Jayashree, who was really a dear student to me when I was teaching them. And means wholeheartedly, I'm grateful for all of you that you participated in the summer school and had been active participants. And we are going to be on a long journey of one-to-one interactions, as well as many more interactions coming forward in the form of events, as well as in the form of various interactions. So I'm really thankful to all of you that you participated and made today's event a success. And with this, we will be meeting again and again. And then there is a review link in the chat box. You all can post your reviews there, as well as a feedback form link is there. Please post your feedbacks there. uh, this feedback is required for certification. Everyday feedback is required for certification. There will be some questions where you can tell whatever you want to. We will try to improve our services. And then Yash, in the group or wherever these participants are, please post the join or subscribers links also, so that they will remain connected and they will stay tuned with our all the ventures events that we are going to conduct, or whatever announcements we have. And dear participants, you all are most welcome to ask anything or write in an email on costsubsparurica@gmail.com. We will be sharing in the flyer. There was the email. We will be sharing it in the group also. Please feel interactive. Please feel free. These services are for you only, for you to grow as a student and as experts. Thank you all.
Before
So
we conclude today's session, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Era University for this wonderful collaboration with Costas Karirika, Dr. Tabriz Jafar, and Dr. Manaz Hera for their academic leadership. Our today's esteemed speaker, Dr. Shivakiran S. Makam, and Ms. Jayasree Reddy for sharing such valuable insights. And of course, all our participants for being such a curious, interactive, and positive audience. Your energy and involvement are what makes this program successful. Registered participants will get their certificates by the end of this Industrial Insight series. And those who have registered for the soft skill development workshop, they will be getting their certificates after the summer school event gets over. Kindly make sure to fill the feedback form for the generation of your certificates and stay connected with us. Links for our different social media handles have been posted in the chat box. Kindly connect to us there for upcoming activities. With that, we come to the ends of today's sessions. Thank you once again for being with us. Remember, this is just a day one. We will continue tomorrow with another exciting set of sessions as part of our Industrial Insight series. Till then, stay curious, keep learning, and take that one step every day towards your dream. Thank you.
thanks a lot, Yash, for mastering this particular event. And we will be meeting again at the same time, sharp 11 a.m. Tomorrow we will start. All the participants are requested to join 5-10 minutes before, because we will open the portal at 10:45. So please join tomorrow also, and stay tuned with all the experts, and please be interactive from tomorrow. If you haven't interacted today, frame the questions. All the experts that are going to talk to you till 18th are from science background, so they are really going to help you a lot in framing your career decisions. Thank you so much.